case anymore for a lot of people. When we talk about the quantity, the consistency, the quality, often you can subsidize some of that effort by doing some quick content with some of TikTok's other features. And finally, what TikTok are going to reward, which not a lot of people understand and go after, are particular content topics. TikTok will have topics that they've categorized within the algorithm as rising in interest and rising in the amount of users who would be looking for that kind of content. If you figure out how to find what this kind of content is and make it, you are going to be rewarded with views much more often than other people on here. You can do this through creator search insights. You can do this through using TikTok search and analyzing your FYP. But find the topics that TikTok are rewarding and make your videos on those. Now, there are so many different things you need to focus on if you want to be successful on TikTok. That's why we've created our TikTok growth operating system. That's why we're offering account breakdowns. That's why we're offering one-on-one coaching calls. So if you want to get access to that, just click the link in our bio. And again, DM access if you want a cheeky promo code. There are 3 things keeping your views low that you can fix overnight. And this is all based on what TikTok shared about how their algorithm works and how they're rewarding videos. And these are things I look at when making every single video that helped me get this many views and followers last week and this many views and followers the week before. So if you're stuck at low views and want to break out, make sure you save this so you can come back to it later. And drop us a follow for daily TikTok growth content. We've got one of the fastest growing TikTok growth communities where we see members get over 100,000 followers within a few months, and we're sharing free value here to help everybody grow. Now, when it comes to keeping your views low and how the algorithm specifically keeps your views low, there are 3 main things here. Whose FYPs your videos are landing on, how much of the video people are actually watching, and how much of an audience there is for the specific content involved in your video, both from an actual user and search perspective and from a TikTok's understanding perspective. So first off, if you're stuck at low views, this should be the first thing you try. And that's making sure that when your videos first get pushed out to 300 people, rather than them being 300 random people on an app with countless and millions of people, let's make those people who have expressed an interest in the topic of your video before. And you're going to do this with TikTok SEO. There are so many layers to this, and I'll add an extra layer when I talk about one of the other points. But essentially, you've got to help TikTok categorize your videos so that they can match the category of your video with people's interests. And you do this by picking a keyword or phrase that helps describe what your video is about, and primarily speaking that throughout the video, using it in your descriptions, using it in your hashtags. That should categorize your video and get you put in front of relevant people. And you can do this on the video you can post tomorrow. And obviously, if you get put in front of relevant people, they're much more likely to watch and engage with the video. Secondly, if you're stuck at low views and you want to fix it overnight, increasing your watch time is actually the most guaranteed way to do this. TikTok's own algorithm basically just looks at how much of your video people are watching when your video first gets pushed out. If it's got a high completion rate and a high average watch time in relation to the length of the video, then you are guaranteed to do well. Yes, there are wrinkles around those metrics against the metrics of other videos from other people on the same topic, but that's out of the remit of this video. And the easiest ways to make sure people watch your video for longer is by including a one-liner towards the start of your video to tell people or hint at what's going to come in the video. At the end of the day, people need to know that they're going to gain something if they spend their time watching your video. So add a one-liner at the start. It's going to look different for every single kind of video, but it will at least buy you some more time, which will improve your watch time metrics. And secondly, we've got to look at constant stimulus. If you start to go off topic at any point, if your energy drops, if there are any pauses, mistakes, so on and so forth, people are just going to drop off, and that's going to really impact your watch time, and it will keep you at low views. So cut out all of the mistakes, try and include some captions if you can, and if you're really creative, you can make sure your background is switching up quite a bit. Now the third one, if you're really stuck at low views and you want to change it overnight, you can literally just do this by changing the topics of the videos that you're creating. I'm not saying switch niches, you can do it within a niche most of the time, but let's use creator search insights as an example here. If you go onto there and you find a keyword relative to your niche that's getting hundreds of thousands of searches a day and is rising in popularity, if you just create 5 different videos and submit it into there, making sure your videos are at least as good as the ones doing well already, then you're guaranteed to break out of low views tomorrow. So use creator search insights, use TikTok search to find videos like this. And the extra wrinkle that I was going to talk about with TikTok SEO is that TikTok SEO really isn't going to work unless you're targeting a category that TikTok understands enough. So when you look at the examples of videos in these topics that are doing well for people, click on the videos, look at the search bar at the top, and that's the category that TikTok is assigning to those videos. So now you know that, you reverse engineer it, you speak that category throughout the video, use that in your descriptions, use that in your hashtags. Now I'm scratching the surface with those 3 things if you're at low views and you want to break out overnight. But if you want to join the community, where we have members gaining hundreds of thousands of followers within a few months of joining, through learning all of this and so much more, then just click the link in our bio. We have a free option if you want to get introduced to everything, and we have options for account breakdowns, one-on-one coaching calls, the full TikTok growth operating system, and so much more. So click the link in our bio, check that out, and I'll see you over there. Here's why you're stuck at 300 views and how to fix it overnight. It's the perfect time to talk about this because TikTok have just changed their community guidelines, which do actually impact this. So if you're stuck at 300 views or something similar, and you want to break out of the 300 view jail and do it consistently, make sure you save this so you can come back and implement everything, and follow for daily TikTok growth content. We've got the fastest growing TikTok growth community with multiple members gaining over 100,000 followers within a few months. We're dropping value to help people on this account, so don't miss anything. Now you're stuck at 300 views because when you first post a video, TikTok will use 300 people to test your content. However, there is a new wrinkle here with the new community guidelines. So what's going to happen first is that TikTok's actually going to look at your content before even considering how these 300 people react to the video. So when it comes to TikTok looking at your content, and this is where a lot of people actually get stuck at 150 views or less, they will analyze your content and look at it from a quality perspective. If they deem it as low quality, it won't get pushed any further. They will look at it from an explicitness perspective, I suppose is the word. So if anything is overly revealing or negative, or you use any explicit language within the first couple of seconds, it's not going to get pushed any further. Now they're going to look at content transparency. Is it unoriginal content? If they think it's unoriginal, it won't get pushed further. If you've used AI and not declared it, it's not going to get pushed further. And finally, the new interesting one is the salesy kind of content. If the video is deemed too salesy, TikTok's not going to push it any further. But if you pass all of those TikTok prerequisite kind of checks that they do, now they're going to look at how the first 300 people receive the video you've posted. And essentially it comes down to this. If you're stuck at 300 views and you're stuck at 300 views consistently, it's because people are not watching your video for long enough. That's it. If you boil down the algorithm to its simplest form, that's exactly what it states. This means a high percentage completion rate and a high average watch time relative to the length of your video and relative to those metrics on other similar videos they've found on the platform. So how do you actually increase your watch time so you break out the 300 view jail? The thing I've seen over and over again is relevancy and targeting. If you can find video topics that a lot of people are interested in within your niche, and you create a lot of videos on those, you will break out the 300 view jail just because TikTok is looking for that content and they know what users are looking for that content. So they are naturally going to push you in front of the right people a lot easier. And if you've got a high quality video, getting in front of the right people is the priority. Now, from a targeting perspective, you've got a popular topic, but to make sure it ends up in front of the right people, this is where you've got to use your TikTok